Good morning students. In today's session we are going to see potential due to point charge which is not at the origin. Its concept, derivation and numerical problems under that. Then potential due to line charge and potential due to surface charge. First we will see the potential due to point charge which is not at the origin. In the previous lecture videos what we have discussed is when you have the point charge at the origin. So your point charge will be at the origin and point will be at some coordinates, some other ordinates where we wanted to identify the potential. So in between this we will be identifying the potential V. Now this point charge will not be at the origin. So if it is not at the origin will be somewhere here. Here you will be keeping the point charge. This is the place where we want to identify the potential. So where we want to identify the potential is going to be the effect. This is going to be the cause. The distance between the cause and effect is used for calculating the distance r. Now here it is going to be r and this is going to be r dash. Therefore the distance between Q to A is going to be r minus r dash. This is how we need to identify the potential due to point charge which is not at the origin. For example, we know that the potential V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon R. This R is nothing but different distance between the cause and effect. So V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon. Here it is going to be capital RA. Capital RA can be identified with like magnitude. This represents only the magnitude. So it will be the effect distance minus cause distance. Therefore we can write Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into RA. Where RA is distance between your cause and effect. That is between the point where we have kept the point charge and the point under consideration where we want to identify the value of potential. If you have multiple point charges, what is going to be the potential at that particular point? So here the point charges is going to be Q1, Q2, Qn. So we have n number of point charges and point A is the place where we want to identify the value of the potential. So therefore at point A we will get potential like V1A plus V2A plus and it goes on till VNA. V1A is nothing but potential at point A due to point charge number 1. V2A is nothing but potential at point A due to point charge number 2. VNA is nothing but potential at point A due to nth point charge. Therefore, the total potential appearing at this particular point charge will be the summation of the potential occurring due to point 1, point 2 and nth point. Why we are doing a direct summation in the sense? Because potential is the one which is going to give only the scalar quantity. It is not going to give a vector quantity. So directly we can make the sum of all the voltage vectors to identify the potential at point A. This is explained over here. And the total potential at point VA1. Potential at point A due to Q1 is equal to VA1 which is equal to Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. The distance between Q1 and R1 is Q1 and A is going to be R1. So we are writing it as R1 which is nothing but R minus R1. The value of R is going to be small r minus R1. And similarly if you wanted to identify the potential at point A due to Q2, the distance between Q2 and A is going to be R2 which is nothing but small r minus R2. For nth point charge, between nth point charge and the point A, the distance is going to be Rn. Rn is equal to small r minus R suffix n. This is how we need to identify the distance. This is going to be the origin. Therefore, the potential at point B. Similarly, potential at A due to point charge number Q2 is given as Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon R2 where R2 is R minus R2. Potential due to nth point charge will be Qn divided by 4 pi epsilon R minus Rn, which is nothing but Rn. Therefore, the total potential at point A is going to be VA equal to VA1 plus VA2 plus VA3, and it goes on till Vn. Substituting each of your values, Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon R1 plus Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon R2, and it goes on till nth point charge, Qn divided by 4 pi epsilon Rn. Here 1, 2, 3 varying parameter is Q1 and R1. 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon is going to be constant. So 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon, keep it as a constant and put the value of m is equal to 1 to n in the summation, and reduce the above equation as Qm divided by 4 pi epsilon R minus Rm, where we can write it as Qm divided by 4 pi epsilon Rm. Summation ranges from m to 1, where m is equal to 1 to n specifies the point charges, that is first point charge, second point charge and third point charge, fourth point charge. Likewise, n number of point charges will be represented in this summation m. Now the problems under identifying the potential where the charge is not located at the origin. One problem will solve which is located at the origin, and the same problem will solve where the same charge is located at some other origin. A point charge Q is equal to 4 nanocoulomb is located at the origin. So here we have a point charge which is located at the origin 0, 0, 0. The charge available here is going to be 0.4 nanocoulomb. Obtain the absolute potential at point A. So here we need to obtain the absolute potential 2, 2, 3. We have to identify the potential at point A. Therefore, VA can be written as VA is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon RA. RA is nothing but the distance from origin to the point under consideration. Here RA can be identified as effect distance minus cos distance. Here effect is going to be point A and cos is going to be where the point charge is placed, that is going to be your cos. RA is equal to effect distance minus cos distance. So 2 minus 0 the whole square plus 2 minus 0 the whole square plus 3 minus 0 the whole square. When you identify, we will get root of 4 plus 9, which is equal to root 17. So this is going to be the value of RA when you are placing value of RA, that is magnitude of RA. This RA will be substituted over here to identify the potential at point A. The value of Q will be 0.4 nanocoulomb. Epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon R. By substituting, we will get the answer root 17. As we discussed earlier, we got the magnitude of RA is to be root 17. The value of Q, formula is Q divided by 4 pi epsilon RA. Value of Q is 0.4 nanocoulomb divided by 4 pi. Epsilon is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon R. Epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon R, which is going to be the permittivity. Absolute permittivity, relative permittivity. We have to assume epsilon R is equal to 1. Like that, we need to write the statement after this particular step. Then the value of epsilon naught is going to be 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12. After substituting, we will get the answer VA is equal to 0.8719 volts. This is obtaining the potential by placing the point charge at the origin. The same problem, if you place the charge at 2, 3, 3, then the absolute potential, you have to obtain the absolute potential. Same problem. You have the origin is 0, 0, 0, and we have one point, A point. This is the place where we want to identify the potential, which is going to be 2, 2, 3, and we need to identify the potential due to the point charge located at 2, 3, 3. Here is the place where we have to identify the potential. Now to identify the distance. Between these 2 points, we can write it as the distance as R1, where R1 is equal to distance between your cause and effect point. According to the problem, this is the place where we want to identify the potential. So this is going to be my effect and this point is going to be my cause. So R1 is equal to root of effect distance minus cause distance. So 2 minus 2, it is going to be 0. 2 minus 3, it is going to be minus 1 square. 3 minus 3, it is going to be 0. Therefore, the distance between point A and where the point charge is placed, R1 is equal to root 1, which is equal to 1. Therefore, the potential V is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon R1. Here the value of Q is going to be 0.4 nanocoulomb. 4 is constant, pi is also constant. Epsilon is going to be epsilon naught into epsilon r. Epsilon r is equal to 1 and the value of r is going to be 1. Therefore, we'll get the answer as, these are all the steps that has been explained now. And now we will be obtaining the value of VA as 3.595 volt. So when you see the difference, when your point charge is placed at the origin, your voltage is less. You could see the value of the potential for the same charge when it is placed at origin, it is going to be 0.8719. For the same problem, if your point charge is located at 2, 3, 3, then the value of the potential obtained is going to be 3.595 volt. Now, if the same problem, we should obtain the potential difference between the point A and B. So, we need to obtain what is VAB. Then, VAB is nothing but VA minus VB. Here, the point charge is going to move from point B to point A. So, we will be getting VB minus VA. It is the point charge which is located at 2, 3, 3. This is the point where we need to identify the potential. When we identify V is equal to VA minus VB, because the difference in potential difference between the point A and B we need to identify. VA is equal to 3.595. How we have obtained in the sense, the distance between these two vectors is going to be 1. When you obtain the potential Q divided by 4 pi epsilon RA, in the place of RA 1 will be substituted and in the place of Q, that is 0.4 nanocoulomb. After substituting, we got the answer VA is equal to 3.595. If point B is at minus 2, 3, 3, so there is one more point where it will be available at the ordinates minus 2, 3, 3. So your first point is here, it is simply the origin, and A point is going to be at 2, 2, 3, and this is going to be at 2, B point is going to be at 2, minus 2, 3, 3, and the charge Q is placed at 2, 3, 3. Now we need to identify the distance between point charge and B, where we can identify it by using effect distance minus cause distance. Now under this condition, point B is going to be your effect and where the point charge is placed, that is going to be your cause. Using that, here effect distance minus cause distance, identified value of the distance is going to be 4. Substituting it in the voltage equation, we will get V is equal to 0.8987 volt. Now we need to identify the potential difference between the 2 points A and B. Therefore, VAB is equal to VA minus VB, which is equal to 2.6962 volt. This is going to be the potential difference between the point A and B. Now, one more problem. If 3 charges, 3 microcoulomb, 4 microcoulomb and 5 microcoulomb are located at these coordinates, 3 charges are available. The first charge value is 3 microcoulomb. Second charge value is 4 microcoulomb. Third charge value is 5 microcoulomb. Okay. The first charge is located at 0, 0, 0. Second charge is located at 2, minus 1, 3. Third charge located at 0, 4, minus 2. Now we need to identify the potential at point P, which is located at 1, 0, 1. Now to identify the distance, this is the diagram corresponding to the program. Now VA will be equal to 3 potentials will be appearing at this point. So VA is nothing but the summation of the potential occurred due to Q1, Q2 and Q3. Now VA is equal to Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon R1. R1 is distance between your Q1 and A. Here point A is going to be the effect and point Q1. Here when you check over here, this is going to be your effect and this is going to be your cos. So for all the point charges is going to be the cos. When you identify the distance, you have to identify R1 effect distance minus cos distance. When you identify, you will be getting the answer R1 is equal to root 2. Substituting R1 is equal to root 2 and Q1 is equal to 3 microcoulomb, you will get the answer of VA as 19.0658 kilovolt. The same one you need to apply it for obtaining your potential at Q2. Potential at point A due to Q2. If you want to identify the potential at point A due to Q2, the distance is R2. R2 can be identified as root of effect distance minus cos distance. So between these two coordinate, you wanted to identify the distance vector R2. So 1 minus 2 minus 1 the whole square, 1 square plus 2 square minus 2 square. We will get root of here 1 plus 1 plus 4. So we will get the R2 as root 6. Substituting the value of R2, we can get the value of VA2 is equal to Q2. The value of Q2 is 4 microcoulomb divided by 4 pi epsilon R2. After substituting, we got the answer V2 is equal to 14.6769 kilovolt. Same way you need to identify the value of Q3. Q3 divided by 4 pi epsilon R3. The value of R3 should be identified between the coordinate where Q3 is placed and A is placed. After identifying, we will get root 26. Then you substitute the value of R3 as root 26 and Q3 value as given in the problem. Will get the answer 8.8132. Therefore, the total potential at point A is going to be VA1 plus VA2 plus VA3. The total potential is 13.2021 kilovolt. Potential due to line charge. So now, so far we have seen the identifying the potential not at the origin, at the origin and numerical based on that. Now we will see potential due to line charge. Before whatever seen, it is only the point charge. Now here we are going to see with respect to your line charge. We know that the line charge density is defined as the charge distributed towards the length of the line. If you have a line charge or surface charge or volume charge, you have to consider a differential elemental length. When you consider a differential elemental length, the charge distribution in that place is going to be differential. Therefore, potential due to when the charge is going to be differential, the potential obtained will also be differential. So this concept only we are going to see in this slide. Here you are going to assume a line charge. This is the line charge where it is distributed completely with the charge density of rho L coulomb per meter. At point B, here we have assumed a differential elemental length. This is your origin. It is the place where we want to identify the potential. Here the charge is not placed at the origin, it is placed somewhere else. Using that concept, the potential at point A is going to be VA is going to be Q divided by 4 pi epsilon R capital R. Since we have assumed a differential elemental length, the charge is going to be differential and hence the voltage will also be differential. Therefore, we can write the formula as dVA is equal to dQ divided by 4 pi epsilon R minus R, which is nothing but capital R. dQ is equal to rho L into dl from your definition, from the definition of your line charge density. Q divided by L. From this, if you assume a differential elemental length, the charge distribution is going to be differential, which is equal to. Therefore, from this dQ is equal to, from this we can write dQ is equal to rho L into dl. That only we have substituted over here. Next is potential due to, it is your line charge over. Now we need to identify the potential at this particular point. Find the potential V on Z axis at a distance Z from the origin at a uniform line charge of rho L coulomb per meter. Here the distance is placed at it you have to identify the value of the potential at distance Z, which is framed in the form of a ring of radius A and is placed at Z is equal to 0 plane. Potential on Z axis at a distance of Z meter from the origin means the point to be identified is, this is the point where we want to identify the value of potential, and we have a line charge density in the form of ring shaped conductor. Therefore, it comes under your circular coordinate system. Assume a differential elemental length dl. In circular coordinate system, if you assume a differential elemental length, it is going to vary all along this all along this phi axis. So we will get dl is equal to rho into d phi. To identify the value of the potential, the formula is dV equal to dQ divided by 4 pi epsilon into R. It is a line charge density. So rho L into dl. In the place of dl, we need to substitute rho into d phi divided by 4 pi epsilon. The distance between the cause and effect is going to be R, which is equal to root of a square plus z square. Thereby, after solving, we'll get the value of the potential as rho L into A divided by 2 epsilon root of a square plus z square volt. Now, potential due to surface charge. Before, whatever we have seen, it is a line charge. Now we are going to see the surface charge. The definition for surface charge density is, if a charge is distributed all along your surface area, then it is going to be the surface charge density. If you assume a differential surface area, then the charge distribution is also going to be differential. When the charge distribution is differential, we'll get the differential amount of potential. Therefore, we'll get the answer for the expression for the same as, here we are going to assume a differential surface area among the surface, and this is the point where we want to identify the potential. It is going to be the effect. The distance between the cause and effect is represented with a letter called R. When you are assuming a differential surface at point P where the rho s is indicated, therefore the expression is going to be rho s ds divided by 4 pi epsilon into R. Depending upon the coordinate system, the value of ds can be like you can apply the value of ds depending upon the coordinate system what you are going to imply. If you are going to imply the value in Cartesian coordinate system, then ds will be dx into dy among in dA direction. So likewise, you can apply and you can find the value of the potential in case of your surface charge density. Thank you, students.